Hey everybody, this is Halstead and Andrew McMillan with REH CPAs. Today we want to talk to our students out there, our kids who have gone to college. Want you to kind of, some of you are going to be working part-time jobs, sometimes full-time jobs. And you may be getting some W-2 income, maybe some 1099 income. And there's just some things that you need to understand from a tax perspective that you've probably never dealt with before. I've got Andrew McMillan here with me today. Andrew, what can we tell those kids who are gone away to school about tax responsibility?
Yeah, sure. So students, it's often a little bit more complicated than maybe we give credit to it. You think, well, I only earned, a little bit of money here or there and I worked for a few months. Like, how hard can it be? But there really is some complications to the situation that you need to be mindful of. First and foremost, with any student or first-time tax filer who's, young, I would make sure that they understand, who is claiming you as a dependent. That's the first thing you need to have a conversation with your parent, your legal guardian, whoever is caring for you. Make sure you understand, are they claiming you as a dependent or are you going to be able to claim yourself? That's a big sticking point that always causes people problems. So technically parents can claim students who are up until you're 19. And then if you go to college or some additional schooling up until you're 24, they can claim you as a dependent. There are also rules about who provides the most support. It can be a little bit more complex than that. But as a general rule, if you're going to college, still kind of living under your parents' roof, but you got some summertime jobs or some side things that you do, your parents can probably claim you if they want to. So it's a discussion to have there first and foremost. But if your parents, let's say your parents are not claiming you as a dependent, it's going to allow you to be able to potentially take some education credits. If you're going to school, there's American Opportunity Credit, a lifetime learning credit. There's some education credits that you have available to you. But really more importantly, what I like to make sure students know is if you understand how you're earning your income, are you being paid a W-2 wage or are you getting a 1099 as a contractor for whoever you're working with? If you're getting a W-2 wage, there's a chance, depending on how much you earn, that you might not even really have to file a tax return. Oftentimes, students only file a tax return if they didn't earn too much money, is just to get their federal withholdings back, state withholdings. Like for a lot of students that file tax returns, they didn't make enough money to really have to pay any tax, but they might have had some tax withheld during the year, so you can get that refunded to you. So that's one thing we look at when we're looking at potentially filing for a student is if they got a W-2 wage, how much, and then did you have any withholdings that would make it worthwhile to even file a return. Conversely, though, if you get a 1099, you really you're almost always going to have to file a tax return no matter how much money you make.
The threshold on 1099 is very low.
It's very low. It's about $400. So if you make more than $400 on a 1099, you're going to have to pay self-employment tax, which is an additional 15.3%. We've done some videos on self-employment tax, but if you're a student getting a 1099, you're going to have to file a tax return, and you're probably going to owe a little bit of tax as well, because some of the deductions and things like that you're going to have available to you as far as like a standard deduction, it might wipe out your income, so you don't pay any income tax, but you're actually still going to have to pay that self-employment tax. It's just an added kicker tax. It's a whole other group. It's a whole other subset of taxes that you got to be aware of. Right. So 1099 workers, understand you're probably going to have to pay a little bit, and you're going to have to file a return. W-2s is something that you want to at least look at and see how much did you earn, and then what were your withholdings, to see if you even really do need to file. So again, it's a little bit more complicated than we give credit to it. We often are talking with clients, and it's a student, and it's like, well, I know they didn't make much, and but there's definitely some complexities to the situation.
There's definitely an analysis to be done there to determine, who's going to claim who, things like that. But first and foremost, before you file, check with your parents and make sure they didn't claim you on the tax return, because it causes a problem. Once they claim you, then you're kind of stuck with your own tax situation, not being able to claim yourself. And if you try to file it claiming yourself, it causes an issue. So definitely coordinate with your parents to make sure everybody's on the same page. Well, that's really good information, Andrew. If you are a student and you have questions about your taxes, feel free to give us a call and we'll help you out. Thanks.